Can Flavor Flav save a sinking ship with a seafood feast? Bird poo turning flower beds into a high society garden? And laxatives in lunchboxes for sweet, messy revenge? All this and more tonight on Six Sad Society.
Oh Lord, I'm so bored. Oh Lord, I'm so bored.
Welcome to Six Sad Society, where we dive deep into the weirdest and wildest stories from around the globe. First up, a move that feels straight out of a surrealist comedy. Flavor Flav is throwing a lifeline to Red Lobster. This iconic seafood chain, currently drowning in Chapter 11 bankruptcy, has decided that the best way to stay afloat is by launching Flavor Flav's faves. Let's break down this Hail Mary pass of a menu item. So, a Maine lobster tail, snow crab legs, garlic shrimp scampi, bacon, mac and cheese, and your choice of a side. Like, you need more food. This isn't just a meal, it's a last supper for your taste buds if you live through the meal. Now, if you've ever wondered what rock bottom looks like for a restaurant, it's when they have to rely on an 80s rapper to bail them out. Can you imagine the boardroom meeting? We need to save the company. How about we get the guy with the giant clock from the 80s to endorse our food? That's where we're at, folks. And to add to the absurdity, this meal isn't even on the printed menu. You have to ask your server for it like it's some kind of a seafood speakeasy, like, can I get the Flavor Flav special? It's like they're ashamed to admit they're betting their future on a man whose most famous contribution to society is shouting, "Yeah, boy," into a microphone. You gotta get to Red Lobster and give it a try because this signature meal is hype, boy. Okay, alright. That's what he says? He's still using hype? See, that's another problem. Is this Red Lobster's core audience Flavor Flav's people? Because he's like 70, isn't he? He's up there. He's in his late 60s. And I'm not trying to diss Flavor Flav. I met Flavor Flav once in LA at a party. I was sitting in a booth with him, hanging out, and Elijah Dushku and her dog. Amy Balsam, thanks for that. I had a great time that night. It was like a post-Grammys award thing. But he's a nice dude, but he fell asleep in the booth. I'm like, just go home. Flav's love of Red Lobster came to light on June 3rd when he posted a photo of himself surrounded by every seafood item on the menu. And get this, he wasn't just showing off. He actually ordered everything to save the Cheddar Bay biscuits. That's right, while some people rescue stray dogs or volunteer at soup kitchens. Flavor Flav's act of charity is single-handedly trying to save a chain restaurant's most favorite carb bomb. The irony here is thicker than the melted butter he's dipping his lobster in. But hey, if it works, maybe next week we'll see Snoop Dogg launching a line of gourmet hot dogs to save Nathan's famous. In his own words, you gotta get the Red Lobster and give it a try because this signature meal is hype, boy. The culinary endorsement of our times. Easily. Why not just buy the recipe from them? Problem solved, right? I get it. I get it. But it's just a biscuit. When you say that, in England, they serve French fries at KFC. So I live over here, I can't even get the biscuit. I don't even want the KFC. Sometimes you just want that southern, that biscuit, right? We went to Barbados and they have KFC and I'm like, oh, they use dollars here. I bet you they got biscuits. I walked a mile. The island's only like, 3 miles? I walked a mile, go to KFC. They had the biscuits. It was a Christmas gift from the KFC guys. I don't even know where I'm going with this, but this will all be deleted out. The biscuits were horrible. They were hard as rocks, and it was just not good. My wife named our son after her first love and hid the truth for 5 years. No. Next story. Moving on to greener pastures, or rather greener flower beds. Residents of Ryde, Isle of Wight recently discovered 2 cannabis plants growing amongst their council-managed floral display. The suspected source? Bird poo. Yeah, bird poo. Our feathered friends might be the new drug mules, spreading kush, one dropping at a time. The flower beds initially planted by the charity Halen's Farm turned into an impromptu botanical drug experiment. Locals were left in stitches when plant recognition technology identified the mystery shrubs as marijuana. Imagine strolling past your local supermarket and seeing a palm-leafed plant that promises more than just oxygen. One of the residents said it was the funniest thing they'd ever seen all week. All week? They live a crazy life. We need to get them on the show. Honestly, with the state of the world, accidental weed gardens might be the comic relief we all need. Highlands Farm, which helps those with learning disabilities, speculated that the plants either came from a local prankster or hilariously from bird poo. Just picture it. Pigeons as the unintentional Johnny Appleseeds of the weed world. Local residents said, no need to remove them. They'll be gone by the morning. How many people are walking around town right now? Ride Town Council has been approached for comment, but let's be honest, they're probably too busy trying to figure out how to turn this into a tourist opportunity. Come for the floral displays. Stay for the contact high. It's not the first time birds have played a role in spreading cannabis. Back in 2015, a man found weed growing amongst his petunias, also believed to have sprouted from bird droppings. At this rate, we'll need to start drug testing our garden birds. One online commenter suggested councils allow tenants to smoke weed in their estates and in their housing, so why not just let them grow it as well? Solid argument for anyone looking to greenify their neighborhood in more ways than one. I don't know. Who knows? But we'll say it was the birds. And I'm not promoting the... use whatever you want to use. Delete that. Delete it. Next story. My dog walked in wearing mother-in-law's dentures. I couldn't stop laughing. I wanted to do this one, but there was no picture of the dog. And in this day and age, this is like when you go and you see the people at the Miami Mall and they're like, there are 20-foot aliens, and the footage looks like they got iPhone 3s. I'm not going to do it. There's no picture. Anyway, next story. Now, for the piece de resistance, a story that proves revenge is a dish best served with laxatives. In an office saga worthy of a sitcom, one man's lunch was repeatedly stolen by a shameless coworker. After 12 complaints to HR fell on deaf ears, he turned to his doctor for advice. That's what you do, right? The solution? A prescription-grade laxative mixed into his lunch. Wow. The next time the thief struck, they got more than they bargained for. About an hour after lunch, our protagonist approached HR to report his stolen lunch and medication. The thief, found in the bathroom regretting every life decision, accused him of poisoning the food. HR's reaction was priceless. So you got hit by the lunch thief again, and your medicine was in the bag? He replied with a grin, yes, I have had some digestive problems and my doctor prescribed a powerful laxative and advised me to mix it in with my midday meal. HR's faces went whiter than a ghost. Stealing prescribed medication is a criminal offense, and the police were called. The thief, now facing charges and likely looking for a new job, learned a hard lesson about stealing someone's food. Or maybe a soft lesson. I don't know. Reddit users praised the man's ingenious revenge, with one even sharing a story about a diabetic coworker whose lunch thief ended up in a prison. Another user called the doctor the GOAT for suggesting the laxative plant. That is kind of a cool doctor if he's like, I got you, bro. One user summed it up perfectly. I love how people who steal food are treated like a nuisance rather than a piece of shit that they are. It's no different than stealing money from someone's wallet. Kind of is, because I paid for the food. I made the time to make the food. Anyway, and there you have it. Sometimes the best way to deal with a lunch thief is to make sure they spend the rest of the day on the porcelain throne. That's it for today, guys. Remember to leave a comment and follow us at v3tv.uk for more wild stories. Stay curious, stay entertained, and stay tuned for the next episode of Success Society. Peace.